Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. I am the microphone messiah. I am joined by the former Bulletcast champion, Brandon Tanguma. Yeah, I know. I understand. But we're also joined by the brand new Bulletcast champion for the first time ever. And this guy got every single match right. Acknowledge him. Ladies and gentlemen, Lil Durst. What is up, man? Unmute yourself. Yeah, come on. How's it feel to be the champ?
Feels amazing. I'm the champion because I'm perfect. It's just that's how it is.
You're
and I don't
the
plan
champ.
on getting this title up for a while.
You're the champ for the show. Yes, sir. The A show.
Champion.
Lay Lil Durst.
Oui.
Yes, sir. Brandon, how you doing, bro? Another loss. I had to call it early. I don't think. I know that never happened to me when I was the champ. I don't know if it's ever happened before since. But how you feel?
I'm just out here drowning in my sorrows with some truly margaritas. I am continuing on my legacy as the Sasha Banks of the podcast. Cannot hold
28 days is a nice run.
In between pay-per-views, that is my legacy. Not being able to hold a long sustaining reign, but it was fun while it lasted.
Let's see.
If I were to drop it to anybody, I'm glad that it is my teammate, Lil Durst.
I'm looking your longest run, which was your 13th reign, which was 98 days. So, I mean,
probably had like one defense in between them, but it's okay. It was a fun time. I wanted a Money in the Bank, kind of on a technicality, and go from Money in the Bank to SummerSlam. So I didn't even get one true defense in. And I would assume the next one, well, maybe we get a double feature with Clash at the Castle and All Out taking place that same weekend. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I might cash in for Big Toko's kickback. We don't know. Still get that bullet cast in the bank. I'm not going to pull an Austin Theory. Nah, your boy would be successful. All right, we have a lot to talk about. SummerSlam, it happened. The first pay-per-view without Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Before we even get into SummerSlam, Marks, I haven't been able to talk to you in quite a while, man. What are your thoughts on Vince retiring and Triple H taking over as head of creative?
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was the right thing to do. Him to retire. Excited to have Triple H running the show because we all love Black and Gold NXT, and I think he showed tonight. He's ready to make a splash.
Yeah, well, Triple H
ready to run the thing.
Absolutely. Triple H has been doing media all weekend. He said they're massive shoes to fill, but he said it's going to take everybody. And we saw a little bit of what Triple H is looking to do. So before we get into everything, let's I like to start big. We're going to talk about the main event. Literally, so this is a post show, man. So we can, or the pay-per-view recaps, we can throw out the language. Some of the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen. I mean, Roman Reigns successfully retained the undisputed championship of the world. Yes, he had help from the Usos. Paul Heyman goes through a table. Austin Theory gets annihilated by Brock Lesnar and then gets beaten up some more by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns just put in the briefcase both championships and stacking all the debris and steps onto Brock Lesnar so he can retain the title. Brock Lesnar came down to the ring with a tractor, lifted the ring up in the air, and Roman fell out. It was just complete anarchy and chaos. Real anarchy in the arena. Damn it, I'll say it. What are your thoughts, Brandon? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was, as you said, a crazy match. Going into it, Brock and Roman once again for the final time ever in quotations. They kind of went through the motions. They were doing their thing for a while, and then once Brock got back on that tractor and lifted the gimmick and twisted the ring up, and Roman flopped out, just all hell broke loose. Theory came out, the Usos come out, and I'm not the biggest fan of the last man standing gimmick, but those 2 or 3 false finishes with Brock getting up at like the count of 9 and 9.99999, I thought those were fantastic. I didn't have super high expectations, but this match did blow them out of the water. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was just a fun clusterfuck of a match, and it's different. It's I mean, it's different than all the other matches they've had. It's a last man standing match. They kind of did all the gimmicks and, all the bells and whistles, and they, literally buried Brock at the very end of it. And I enjoyed it. I had very low expectations for this, and I quite enjoyed this match. And Roman, got the win at the end, which was the predictable finish, but I thought they had a creative and a good way to get there.
Mr. Champion.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. Brock lifting up the ring is maybe a top 5 moment for me now. That was they got a big pop out of me.
That's definitely going to be a contender for OMG moment of the year when we do the casties later on in the year.
Poor Brock got buried like Theory's been getting buried on Raw.
I don't think he's been getting buried, bro. Look, Ziggler lost all the time when he was Mr. Money in the Bank, and then he won the world championship, so it's fine. It's okay. The briefcase is in his back pocket. It's okay.
I mean, I still think he'll be the one to dethrone Roman.
I think Cody gets Roman, and then Theory spoils the moment. Yeah, that's what I think. But I mean, it was a hell of a match. You have anything else to say about this?
Not really. Not.
All right. Well, with that being said, Brandon, take it away. Let's talk about the rest of the show.
Oh, thank you. Just for record, the main event did go 23 minutes, the longest match on the show. Nothing went pretty much over 15 minutes, but let's start it from the top, make it drop. That's a wet ass, you know what. Bianca Belair defends her Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. And this one does go 15 minutes and 10 seconds. The second longest match of the night, as Bianca Belair gets the win, hitting the KOD for the win. Opening up with probably like the second biggest match on the show. Maybe you can make an argument that the tag team match was bigger, but I enjoyed this match. I thought it was good. Crowd was kind of hot. It always is kind of weird with those open air stadiums. You can't really get a tell for how the crowd is super reactive to the match, but I thought it was good. Decent opener. Maybe fell a little bit short of my high expectations if they were to have a NXT Triple H type, go out there, steal the show type match, but it was good. Becky Lynch at the end shakes Bianca's hand. Whether that's a babyface turn or not, we shall see. I mean, maybe there was a babyface turn at the end, but I guess we'll talk about that at the end. But first, let's talk about the match itself. Phillip, what did you think of the straight up match between Bianca and Becky?
Honestly, I'll probably have to rewatch their WrestleMania match, but I think this was probably their best one. There was more like just wrestling. There's more chain wrestling and holds and things like that, and I really enjoyed that. And I mean, Bianca going for a leapfrog and Becky ducking under and scooping the ankle, just things like that, little things like that really add to a contest. I really love that. I thought it was fun, man. The power bomb spot when Becky was trying to go for the leg drop, and then the leg drop on the outside in the timekeeper's area. I really enjoyed that, and they have great chemistry. They work very well together, and I was a huge fan of this match. Great way to start our SummerSlam. Mr. Durst.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. I feel like it was predictable though. Like there was no way Bianca was going to lose in her hometown, or I don't know if it was her hometown, but I know she's from Tennessee.
Home state.
Yeah, I don't know. It was still a great match. I loved when when Becky dropped from the second rope, and then Bianca turned it into a power bomb. Big fan of that. That was good. But yeah, I think the ending was better than the actual match. Well, I think it got the bigger pop.
It did like Becky's attire. I think she did have the best attire. She had kind of the flame, the what's the gimmick from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the something Meister. I thought maybe Bianca was going to come out like in blue, kind of. Well, she did come out in blue, but it wasn't like an ice blue. But I did like Becky's get up, and for the most part, I'm a fashion guy when it comes to like the gears. No one really like kind of went over the top with their gears, but I thought Becky, she's kind of set the standard for over the top ring attire, and she definitely did deliver here. Phillip, your thoughts on high fashion Becky Lynch?
High fashion. I'm sorry, I'm a Roddy Rich guy. Becky, she's been killing it with the gear. I mean, look at who her husband is. He's the drip god. So it's only right that she'll pick up on what he's putting down. Yes, sir. But what happened after? What happened after this match?
Well, a lot of stuff happened after this match. We get a nice code of honor handshake between Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. So whether that's a babyface turn or just, Becky kind of acknowledging defeat and just moving on to whatever's next in her chapter, what it is. And then Bayley's music hits. She comes strolling down to the ring, and then Dakota Kai's music hits. She comes strolling down to the ring, and then Io Shirai, now Io Sky, comes strolling down to the ring. So if you want to really read into this, Triple H putting his stamp on the women's division, going heavy into the NXT black and gold women's division. Io Shirai's just been, I don't even know what's been going on with her. She hasn't been seen forever. Dakota Kai being released. She comes back. I guess this is some sort of faction or some sort of group with the three of them. They step up to Bianca, and then Becky steps next to Bianca, and the three debuting heels back off. So an exciting splash to the SummerSlam premium live event. We talked a little bit about it. The Triple H wants to make a creative splash, and pretty much if you were just to watch the entire show, this is the only creative splash that kind of happened. And it definitely was a splash with Io and Dakota making their debuts. Well, Dakota did kind of make a little bit of a debut, I think, a couple years ago, but Bayley making her return. So
yes,
definitely inserting some much needed life into that women's division. Because I think besides Rhea Ripley, I don't think we really knew what else there was for Bianca Belair.
Absolutely. Bayley, a tweet has resurfaced from the day Dakota got released. Bayley saying she wanted to work with her, and now she's getting her wish. That respectfully, Marks, you already know the term I'm thinking of. Yeah, but
hey, that thing be thangin'.
Respectfully. Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy for Bayley. I'm happy that she's back. Bay Area native representing the yay, yes sir. Dakota Kai, King Coda coming back. That's what's up. I love it. Triple H made the call. You'd love to see it. And Io Shirai, I mean, this is perfect. Bayley, one of the best NXT Women's Champions. Io Shirai is right up there. Dakota Kai, arguably probably the best woman in NXT to never hold that woman's title. I'll put her up there with Bianca in that category. So it's nice. It's nice to see them as a group. I'm interested in this. I mean, we've seen women's groups. There was PCB, there was Absolution, Riot Squad. So we'll see what this female group. There was the Vince's Devils. How can you forget that? There was we'll see what these groups or what this group is going to do on the main roster. I mean, if there's going to be a tournament for women's tag team championships, if that is still a thing or is going to happen, I'd say, hey, put them on Dakota and Io, put one of the women's titles on Bayley, and let's let them have a run.
I think there was a lot of speculation that with the three new acts debuting, that maybe this would have been the perfect spot for Naomi and Sasha to re-debut and join Bianca. So it can be a straight 3-on-3 matchup. Did not happen. Bianca or Becky joined up with Bianca and from the Department of Corrections, Phillip. Io Shirai did win an NXT Women's Championship. But I
know I said Dakota Kai.
Oh, okay. Anyways, shout out to Dakota Kai. She's great.
Former
the other guy, the other guy, because maybe the former other guy that we used to work with isn't part of the podcast anymore. We'll find out. But he was a big fan of Dakota Kai, and I was a big fan of Dakota Kai too. But I'm a little worried that maybe she's just going to be the designated fall lady. But I think all three of them are fantastic, and whether this is just going to be Bianca knocking each one of them down one by one, and maybe Bayley's like the final boss at a Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, I'm perfectly fine with that. And Rhea is also out there as well. So as I said, a big splash to start off SummerSlam. I think this might have raised expectations that we could have seen something else, like a Gargano or whoever else, a big thing happening at SummerSlam. I'm not saying it all went downhill from here. But you start off with this SummerSlam threesome debut return, and nothing else really happened. But I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything else, Mr. Marks?
I really thought Becky was going to attack Bianca when they were standing side by side.
I did think that too a little bit.
I was waiting for it. I was like, come on, do it. And she never did, and I was surprised.
She did not. What else happened? What happened next?
Well, the second match was Logan Paul taking on The Miz with Maurice and Ciampa. And this one goes 14 minutes, 15 seconds. Ciampa gets into some trouble on the outside. He gets the ejection, but he stands firm and doesn't leave. So AJ Styles, who was kind of Logan Paul's friend, runs in and beats up Ciampa. And then, that's pretty much it. Maurice kind of gets involved a little bit, but not really too much. Logan Paul ends up getting the win on The Miz. He just pins him with a skull crushing finale, 14 minutes, 15 seconds. Logan Paul beats The Miz. No one got hurt. That's all we can ask for, I guess. The crowd, once again, awkward, open air stadium, kind of too hard to really judge what the crowd was feeling in this one. But
you got to watch the fan videos to get the full experience.
Well, what were the fan videos telling us, Phillip? Because from the cock, it didn't seem like they were really caring too much about this.
Obviously,
if anything, they were kind of booing Logan Paul.
Obviously, when he did the frog splash on the table, he got the pop. From what I saw, or what I could hear from the videos, decent reaction. Not an over baby face. Obviously, people like him more than his brother, so that's a positive. But hey, man, I'll say Logan Paul. These celebrities over the past couple of years, man, they've surprised me. They really have. Bad Bunny surprised me. Logan Paul has surprised me. Doing his own version of a phenomenal forearm, which Corey Graves said it was an okay one, which that is true. Obviously, the table spot was cool. Yeah, kudos to Logan Paul, man. He put in the work, and he had a very, very good performance tonight. And Miz is so damn good at his job. It's ridiculous. Lil Durst.
Doesn't matter how many times the Miz loses, he will always be a big name. And Ciampa throwing a tantrum on the outside, that was pretty funny. That got a big pop out of me. And then didn't expect AJ to show up. That was okay. I loved AJ. And the table spot was pretty dope. Didn't think that was gonna happen. Thought the Miz was gonna move. He didn't, which was good. Yeah, it was a good match.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If this leads to an AJ Styles Ciampa feud and like a good match at Clash of the Castle, I'm all for it. Don't know if that's what's gonna happen because with Triple H being in charge now, he was a big proponent of Ciampa, so maybe we'll see some movement in terms of kind of those lower middle card people and elevating them because like Shotzi got a win on SmackDown, so maybe our girl Shotzi is going to get a little bit of a push going forward. But this match was what it was, and we didn't get like the testicle purse shot from Maurice like I predicted, but I guess that's kind of a good thing. Moving on to the next match, the U.S. title match as Bobby Lashley defends against Theory. This one only goes 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Wasn't the shortest match on the card. And Bobby Lashley just straight up beats Theory to retain. Nothing special from this. Lashley gets the win. Theory just loses. He comes back later in the show, but it wasn't anything special what he did in the main event. So, this was just kind of like a nothing match, I guess, from my perspective.
It's like, I'm going to throw the comparisons to the Ziggler Money in the Bank run. Like, Ziggler would lose earlier in the night, try to come out and cash, and would get beaten up and not cash in. That's exactly what happened to Theory tonight. I didn't realize this was 4 minutes. Jesus. They did a nice little bit in that amount of time, but hey, the Almighty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Bobby, man. What a career renaissance this late in the game. His second run has been fantastic in WWE. Lil Durst.
Yeah, I love Bobby, but I don't know. Did this really need to be on the pay-per-view?
You had to finish out the story, and Theory's in a prominent spot because of the Money in the Bank, and Lashley, the fans love him. So it didn't take him too much time, so it was fine.
That's fair. What 4 minutes 30 seconds? What you said? Like,
yeah, that's
but
typical.
overall,
That's like a typical pay-per-view match time, like back in the '80s. So that's whatever. It's cool.
I mean, at least
Then-
Bobby won. Love
Yeah.
Bobby.
Shout out Bobby.
Shout out.
Dun, 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 dun.
Then we get a no disqualification tag team match between the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic, and the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley at ringside. Shout out Rhea. This one goes 11 minutes and 5 seconds. And as a lot of us predicted, we do get the re-debut of Edge. He is in his Brood-esque form. He just, for whatever reason, good thing all those gimmicks were set up at the entranceway for him to come up through the steps and the whatever.
Well, that was off to the side when they made their entrance. You weren't paying attention.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But thank God that Edge was able to fit in there and tell the sound guy to play his music and light the fire for him to come through and hit the lights and make his entrance.
Speaking of the Brood, got to chop it up with Gangrel last weekend. Great guy. Had to throw that out there.
Yeah, but no disqualification match. So Edge makes his entrance, runs in, hits a spear, bam. Mysterios get the win at 11 minutes. So
I kind of wanted him to spear Rhea. I'm not gonna lie, just spear them all, bro.
Wow, you like men on women violence.
Just
How dare you?
Just spear them all. They all betrayed him.
How dare you,
Just
Phillip?
spear them all. Come on, y'all didn't pop when Randy RKO'd Nia Jax. Stop.
It's a different time now.
What do you mean? That was literally like 2 or 3 years ago. What are
We
you
did not
talking about?
We're not here for men on women violence. All right.
Stop yourself. Don't start that here. Stop yourself. You personally told me, man, when Randy RKO'd Stacy Keibler, I was here for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No
There
comment.
it is.
Well,
Yeah.
that's back in the day when he was a sexist little kid. He's seen the difference of his ways.
See, Brandon's correct.
Exactly.
Yet again,
I have
that
seen the
RKO
light.
on Nia Jax was literally like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Well, that's the
I
post
changed
me.
4
That's
years
the
ago.
post. Yeah, that's the post Me Too movement.
Oh my God. Edge is back. He's with the Mysterios. Judgment Day loses. Yeah.
Is Judgment Day dead? Like, I feel like they're kind of dead.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of Damian Priest. I like Finn
You
Balor.
didn't like Punishment Martinez?
That's such a better name.
I mean, it is a better name, but I mean, he's never
Was
like
Punishment
clicked.
Martinez really better than Damian Priest?
I mean, get it, Damien and Priest. It's a devil and a priest, so it's like the good and the evil. Luckily, they're not really going down that route in this current form, but I feel very stupid that it took me very long for it to click in my head that that's kind of what they were going with the devil and the Jesus form. But anyways,
I don't know.
it is kind of weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense that Edge makes his return and gets one over on the heels, but I thought this would have been the perfect chance for the heels to get the win, and then maybe Edge runs in at the end to kind of spook them. But I mean, now it's Edge and the Mysterios. So does this mean the Judgment Day gets another person? What's Rhea doing? I don't know.
Bray Wyatt's coming back and leading Judgment Day. I just got that feeling.
Now that's different.
There you go.
You tell me he couldn't? He's already done one. Did a damn good job with the Wyatt family. So
Y'all seen that graphic of Bray Wyatt with the head lantern, but the lantern's head is Roman's? I was like, ooh.
He's coming for that ass.
Ooh. Might be something. What happened next?
What happened next? That would be another celebrity match as Pat McAfee takes on Happy Corbin. Corbin makes his entrance first. Phillip, don't be humming that song because it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Happy Corbin makes his entrance and he has like some Colts colored attire. And now, yes, Pat doesn't have Seven Nations Army. He just has a regular him humming song, so they don't got to pay all that money. It's not the same, kind of in the same spirit, but he makes his entrance. Crowd still loves him. And this one goes 10:40.
You forgot about the choir doing
and
the
yes,
bum ass Corbin.
The bum ass Corbin, the
Bum-ass
choir.
Corbin.
Yeah, there you go, Phillip. Lead us in the chant, Phillip, since you love it so much.
I mean, I'm a Baron Corbin guy. I always have been. I always will be. You know what I realized? Happy Corbin is just a more fashionable Constable Corbin, just without the power.
Maybe he should talk to Mayor Glenn Jacobs and get some power.
Mayor Glenn Jacobs isn't really the best person in the world.
He did make an appearance and once again fabricating, giving us some fake news in terms of the attendance.
Whoa! I have with good authority. I have a source at .com. That's the number. Confirmed.
Because Glenn Jacobs would never lie or fabricate or say something to fit his own narrative. No, of course not.
Well, I mean, he was given the number. I don't know what you want here. I don't know what you want.
Okay. So he just says whatever, he just says whatever the party in charge tells him to say. Which is telling me, or the party that he is, bowing down to. Says.
They were like, "Hey, go out there, say the number, do the fire gimmick, and leave." That's literally like what happened, bro.
But anyways, Pat McAfee continues his undefeated. Well, I guess not undefeated streak because he lost to Vince McMahon, which we didn't get any mention of. He beat.
There were some Vince quasi mentions, like
but...
Michael, Corey Graves. What did he say? He said, "I liked it better when you weren't allowed to have a personality." Cole, something like that. And then Cole was like, "Well, things have changed."
Pat gets the win, 1040 with the Canadian Destroyer. Everybody hits a.
It was a sunset flip.
Everybody hits a Canadian Destroyer.
It was a sunset flip.
Sorry, a sunset flip, whatever you want to call it, a code red, a Canadian Destroyer, sunset flip.
Well, he didn't spike him on his head, so it wasn't a Canadian Destroyer.
It was not a pretty setup, but God bless them. They fixed it, and it looked good at the end. And McAfee gets the win, 1040. Once again, nobody hurt, so we can ask for.
Yes, sir. Pat, he does this thing. He was getting beat up. Corbin on the headset, God bless him. Pushing down Michael Cole, thought that was funny. All in all, Pat McAfee got the win. Yes, sir.
Yeah, big pop out of me when Pat won because obviously I'm a Pat McAfee guy. But yeah, good match. When he jumped up to the second rope and landed on his knees instead of his feet, kind of laughed at that. Looked a little tired there, but other than that, it was a good match.
After this one, we get a promo from Drew McIntyre. He just makes his entrance with the sword, and he just kind of hypes up the crowd, talks about how he's going to face whoever it is at Clash of the Champion or Clash of the Castle, talks to his boy Colt at ringside, and we get a Colt chant. So on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre beats Sheamus, so he's the pseudo, or I guess number one contender. Any real thoughts on this? I mean, nothing too special, but
Drew McIntyre said he's coming for that ass.
Yeah, boy. And then after that,
that's what he said. He literally said he's coming for that ass.
Respectfully.
Yes, respect. He's coming for that tribal ass, respectfully.
Next up, we get the tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship as the Usos defend against the Street Profits. The Street Profits get the Tennessee Titans cheerleader entrance, and they get special entrance, which means they're going to lose, of course. And the Usos come out, and the Usos beat the Street Profits in 13 minutes 25 seconds. Jeff Jarrett was the special guest special guest referee. Nothing in terms of like straight up gimmicks, no guitar shots, no, oh, your shoulder was up, oh, I got you, I'm smarter than a regular referee, nothing like that. Jeff Jarrett just kind of, he had his moments, but nothing, too over the top. He was a referee. They had a straightforward match, and the Usos get the win. The big moment was a frog splash, and Montez Ford kind of selling too much on the ribs like RVD, gets the pin late. An Uso kicks out. Then the Usos pin Dawkins with the double super kick and the 1D. Bam. Usos retain. And then, Lil Durst confirms his Bullet Cast championship. But, I I had very high expectations for this match. Yes, I might have picked Street Profits to win, but it didn't really click for me. I didn't think they got to that next level that I thought they could have. I was happy that Jeff Jarrett just kind of stayed out of the way, but because he stayed out of the way, I thought the match could have been a lot better. But at 13:25, compared to what, like 20 minutes or 20 plus minutes, what they did at Money in the Bank, they didn't really have the time to, tell that story that I think they could have if they gave like another 5 minutes. But
Brandon. There are three things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and never go against the bloodline. They the ones. Then, now, forever, together. Okay? Come on, man. Greatest tag team of this generation. I'll say it. I know FTR is doing their thing. I know we talk about the Young Bucks, but hey, man, them Usos, man, they 7 times the World Tag Team Champions for a reason, because they get it done inside of that squared circle. Yes, sir. One and done all day. I love it. You love to see it. One's in the air for the rest of eternity.
No Double J chair shot. That was disappointing. Always need a good Double J chair shot,
The guitar shot?
if you want to see a Jeff
or
Jarrett guitar
sorry.
shot, you got to pay for the Ric Flair last match tomorrow.
Yes,
Only on
tomorrow.
Fight TV.
The Nature Boy laces him up one last time with Andrade El Idolo to take on Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. He's going to blade. He's going to do a crossbody off of the top rope. He's going to strut. He's going to style. He's going to profile. Woo, 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 woo.
Are we getting that StarCast money after that promo?
Hey, man. Hey, whew. I'm all fired up. I'm ready, man. Rick. We going to be 21-time champions together. None of that 16 bullshit. Yes, sir.
How is somebody signed to WWE and somebody signed to AEW going to wrestle each other?
Well, Jeff Jarrett, he's not a competitor in WWE. He's in a backstage role, so that's allowed.
Ric Flair is the real Forbidden Door.
Yes, sir. You're gonna walk that aisle one more time.
Hopefully,
he's gonna walk that aisle one last time.
Hopefully, thank God.
Well, he's got to walk it twice.
Can't wait.
Yeah, hopefully he walks back up that aisle. That's the real question.
Guys, I'm in the business. Let me explain this to you.
This match should not be happening.
The term "walk the aisle" means you're walking to the ring. We don't say walk it twice because you have to go back through the curtain. We all know that. We all understand that. All right. Okay.
Well, yeah, but he could walk down there and not walk back up.
But he's going to, because he's Ric Flair. This man kicked out at 2.99999 from a crazy health scare. And now he's about to go. Ric Flair might go 30 minutes, bro. I'm going to say it right here. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to
kill
say
the man?
it. Hey, shut up, Michael. Okay. What else happened at SummerSlam?
Then Riddle makes a run in, jumps a barricade, and he calls out Seth frickin' Rollins. And Seth frickin' Rollins comes out and awkwardly runs away from all the WWE officials. Then we get a little brawl. Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp, and
you can't hate the man's run. I mean, he was wearing some nice shoes, and I heard that the where they have to walk, it's not really a ramp, but the walkway looked pretty sleek. So he didn't want to fall and embarrass himself. So we had to kind of do a certain run. I understand that. I respect it.
I get it. It's Nashville on a hot late July night. It's probably muggy, very humid.
Yes.
In his $1,000 get up.
Yes.
But we just get an angle, a curb stomp onto Riddle.
Yep.
Rollins saunters off. No run-in, no gimmick, no match whatsoever. Just
nothing. And then he went to go have some Zaxby's, right?
Yep, and he, apparently A tier, S tier.
We need that
is S tier food right there.
We need a Zaxby's out here. Like, I know you people are infatuated with the Raising Cane's. Look, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. No, like the people, the 400 people who lined up.
What do you mean, you people?
Cane's. Look, let me tell you something.
First, we're advocating for men on women violence. Now, you people, what are you doing?
Come on,
the
Phillip,
people that don't have that don't have a glorious palate like myself and Mr. Lil Durst. We understand. We understand. Look, Zaxby's is Raising Cane's, but the chicken is better. You're there for the chicken. You're there for the sauce. You're there for the fries. You're there for the experience. You're there for it all. It's fantastic. Zaxby's is amazing. I love it. I wish there was one here. I'm going to go to my congressmen and women, and I'm going to advocate to get one here. I'm going to go camp outside the mayor's house, and we're going to get this done.
Because that's how
the cheese
political
curds from
system
Zaxby's
works.
are elite.
Yes. Shout out to the cheese curds. I throw them on the poutine. It's fantastic.
Shout out to Putin.
Yep. So what else happened after the stomp ski?
Well, the penultimate match on SummerSlam, the last match we'll talk about here, is the SmackDown Women's Championship match as Liv Morgan defends against old Ronda Rousey. This one only goes 4 minutes, 35 seconds. Liv Morgan defeats Ronda Rousey as Triple H reaches down deep into his bag of NXT black and gold finishes, just like what he would do with Shayna Baszler, as Ronda Rousey has Liv Morgan in the armbar, and for whatever reason, Liv Morgan stacks her up, and Ronda doesn't have the mental capacity to realize what a 3 count is. And at the 2 and 6 69th nice count, Liv Morgan taps out, but the referee doesn't see that. Taps 1, 2, 3. Liv retains. Ronda gets all angry that Liv tapped out. She puts the referee in an armbar, and she saunters off all mad that she lost, but Liv ends up winning. So Liv technically wins, but nobody wins because both of them won, and love the finishes here in WWE. Nice to see Triple H is fixing the non-finishes on pay-per-views.
How else was Liv Morgan going to beat Ronda Rousey? Come on, man.
Clean right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, brother. With the leg drop.
Every time Rousey gets pinned, it's controversial. Except for when Charlotte beat her, of course. That was just straight win, straight dub. All right, man. That's how it had to be. It's unfortunate. Ronda went into menace mode right after. You love to see it. Yeah. Now Ronda's gonna go home and raise her baby, and we'll see her again in another 2 years.
She'll come back and be Cowboy Ronda, just like Brock Lesnar, and she'll tip over the ring with a tractor. It'll be a whole thing because that's what former UFC champions do, apparently, in WWE. Hello, Durst. Anything
heel
on this
Ronda
match?
I think heel Ronda is going to be better than face Ronda, because she's not very likable, at least to me.
Well, so this is the problem. Ronda Rousey, like you hear it in interviews and everything, and people talk about her. Literally a sweetheart, but she doesn't come across like that on television. Literally, she's probably, like, I've heard she is literally the nicest person in the world, but then she doesn't come across like that on TV when she's trying to be a babyface. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not her biggest fan, so I don't really like her anyways. So I might be a little biased. Who knows?
Well, I'm a fan of Ronda Rousey. I actually started watching UFC because of her, and hey man, I'm a sucker for a streak. Shout out Take. I'm a sucker for a streak. I'm like, oh, she got a streak. All right, let's watch this. And then she lost it, and
Misha Tate should have beat her. It's a damn shame.
Shut up, Misha Tate. Big. I'm a big Misha Tate fan.
Hey,
respectfully.
That thing be thangin'.
Respectfully,
respectfully, of course.
Jesus, little Durst.
Hey, I said respectfully.
God, Jesus.
But that thing be thangin' though.
She is a great combat athlete. Stop that. God.
So was Valerie Loretta.
Shout out Valerie Loretta.
Shout out.
Shout out. She's been at the Performance Center for a couple weeks now. We'll see. We'll see when she makes the debut. Yeah. That is going to do it for us. Guys, what is your grade of SummerSlam 2022? Low Durst.
Ooh. I'd probably go B. Solid B.
B for Bloodline. All right. Brandon.
I think I'll go with a B minus. It was a decent show. The Roman Brock match, I think, kind of over delivered, and everything else kind of met / under delivered a little bit. Nothing like, there's no super matches on this card, but nothing was terrible. So I'll give it a B-.
I'll give it a B+, just like Daniel Bryan. I'm joking.
Unnecessary.
I'm kidding. I love D-Bry. I love Bryan Danielson. Great guy. Tremendous human being. Yeah, I'm going to give it a B+. Thank you guys so much. Brandon and I and maybe somebody else will be back on Thursday for another Bullet Cast. We have some big stuff coming up this coming weeks. We will be at Stockton Con, and you never know what can happen there. Thank you guys so much. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe. Diamonds are forever, and so is the bloodline. Yes, sir.